All right, man. So, Ben Johnson, basically saying he wants to correct this one thing about Caleb Williams. Shout out to Tennessee North playlist. A lot of Bears come in and say, "Oh, y'all salty because y'all lost Ben Johnson." No, I'm not salty. I don't really care. I wish him nothing but the best. I don't pray on people's downfall. Um, but he says that he pretty much they went through the tape and he didn't really like his demeanor and his body language. And what's so funny about that? This has come from a dude who painted his fingernails. What do you expect? That's just who he is. I don't think that's nothing that he can change. That I don't think that's nothing that he can change. His body language. Now, you know, have I learned to be stoic? Yes. I've learned to be stoic and really not show my emotions on my face in the situations and I need not to. You feel what I'm saying? So being able to think he can be able to change that body language, dude, this is a man that painted his fingernails. This is a man that's sassy. This is a man that's, kind of got a colorful personality. And he's saying, we kind of don't want to be that type of team and it starts with him. And it already started with a lot of resistance coming into that locker room. A lot of them didn't even want to fuck with him. And then you see what Jaden Daniels doing. And it don't mean that Jaden Daniels would have came to Chicago and did the same thing. Situations is everything. You could have put Caleb Williams in Washington and he would have probably thrived. It was the environment that they created. Right? So, but that's something that he I guess they want him to work on. Is how you carry yourself after interception. Or, it's not all he said it's not always gonna go our way. But you know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is this, bro. This is who he is. He didn't want to be. It's all what it. I'm telling you, life will show you. Your approach is usually how it go. When you don't want to do something, it ain't gonna go the way you want it to. Even when you started to want it to go that way, it ain't gonna go that way. You gotta just face every obstacle with optimism. Every obstacle you gotta kind of approach it with. Okay, let's get it out the way. Let's get it done. You know. And everybody think Ben Johnson is this quarterback whisperer. The play calls and this, that, and the third. But you got to have a soldier to carry out the mission. You got to have the soldier. And he gonna do some things with him running the ball, and they gonna put him on the boot. They gonna do some design runs and stuff of that nature, for sure. And sometimes it's gonna go be up. Sometimes it's gonna be down. But you always got to stay at that average place. The average place. You can't get too high. Can't get too low. He got a lot of work to do with Caleb Williams. Maturity, attitude. He's just feminine by nature. And a lot of people point to the fact that a lot of these guys grow up in single mother households. They grew up in single mother households and shit. But he had a father. He still grew up to be a bitch. With all due respect. He still grew up painting his fingernails. Man, my father would have sent my fucking neck to the upper room till this day if me and my brother painted our fingernails. Come on, man. But that's that new hands-off parenting. You think you're going to change a sassy-ass quarterback that got his fingernails painted? Man, think again. You could probably put him in a room full of bad bitches, and he gonna gravitate to the one man in the room. I already know his type. Like he grew up like he was raised by women. I am. Nigga so zesty, bro. Dog so zesty. So curing that body language is gonna be it's gonna be tough. If the father couldn't reach him, how Ben Johnson gonna reach him? At this point, 22, 21 years into the game, you can't learn. You're not an old dog. You can learn. He can learn, but you know, you got, and then you know, my biggest fear if I'm a Chicago Bear fan, if they get too pass happy. That's my biggest fear if I'm them. That's the only concern I got about Ben Johnson. If I had a secondary concern, you know, maybe it's leadership qualities. And not saying it was an issue in Detroit, it's just it's different when you got one side of the ball, now you got all sides of the ball. You making the schedules, you dealing with you dealing with all the mischief, you dealing with all the social issues that's going on in the whole team and just on the side of the offensive side of the ball. That's it. I mean, that's just normal rhetoric, right? But I'm worried about if you really take the lid off of him, you really take the fail safe off of him from Dan Campbell, you really remove that, and um, you really remove that. I think he's gonna be pass happy, and that's not good for Caleb Williams. That's not good if we playing Chicago. He just like I think Dan Campbell made him run the ball more than he want to. I really don't agree with his new philosophy, and his new philosophy in the NFL. When we throw to open up the run, that's if I'm a Chicago Bear, that's the only question. That's the only question I have. Because you hear people say, "Well, he built that offense around Jared Goff." He just didn't build it. Dan Campbell built it. Our new OC John Morton in Detroit helped build it, and Ben Johnson helped build it. Right. So my only thing is if I have a concern, it's just a regular concern when a coordinator go take over a whole team. Now you're responsible for clock management, game management. You're expected for social management. When stuff go wrong in the locker room, now you overseeing all the coaches, not just tight end coach, the offensive line. Now you just got a larger responsibility. You scheduling. You are the disciplinarian. That's it. Now you got more. Now you are the final decision maker, right? Then the ultimate concern I have, because that's normal concerns when you see a coordinator go to there. The only other concern I actually really have for him is he gonna run past the ball too much? When you play in Chicago, that's not a good thing. So if they're gonna pass the ball too much, is he gonna run the ball? That's the question. That's the only question I would have if I'm a Bear fan. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Check out Detroit or North MC North Talk playlist, MC North playlist. Follow me everywhere: X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor. Cash App, Venmo there. Peace.